All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Monday Night Football. This is the second of two Monday Night Football videos that we did put out. We have the Saints and the Panthers video also out. If you haven't checked that out, go do so. But we got the Steelers taking on the Browns. In this one, we have one game pick and then two player props that I'm liking in this video. So we got 3 picks total on the game. Right now, Steelers sitting at plus 2.5 as home dogs. Total sitting at 38.5. And like I said, I got one game pick that I am really liking. But before we do, guys, I'm going to talk to you about Outlier. If you have not heard of Outlier, just stay tuned till the later parts of this video. We are going to jump in and I'll show you the tool. But you can get 7 days free by using my link in the pinned comment. It's an awesome app. If you can understand green means good, red means bad, you can profit with Outlier, one of my favorite research tools on the market right now. But we'll jump into it so you can see it for yourself later on in the video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. We're approaching 30,000 subscribers. Absolutely mind-blowing. But let's get into pick number 1 in this spot. I'm liking Cleveland. Now, I haven't totally decided if we're going to roll with Cleveland on the money line or taking and laying the 2.5 points there. Right now, you can get them for minus 135 on the money line, which isn't all that terrible of juice to be paying, or you can go 2.5 on FanDuel right now for minus 110. Keep an eye on the pinned comment. We will notate which one we roll with, but I think this is going to be all Cleveland all day. I just don't know if, the Steelers are going to keep it close. Could be a 1-point game, that type of a thing. But yeah, I like the Cleveland Browns here. I think obviously they looked a little bit better in their week 1 performance than the Steelers did. Cleveland beat the Bengals here by a wide margin, 24-3. Bengals really had nothing to do in that game. And I will say, yes, I like the Browns, but I can I can tell it like it is. The Bengals lost that game just as much as the Browns won it. You know what I mean? Like, they did not come ready to play. So that wasn't like a hootin' and hollering go Browns type of a game. No, they just did their job, played decent football, and the Bengals just let everything slip through their fingertips. And then Pittsburgh on the other side here playing the 49ers. Obviously a tough team to get week 1, and the 49ers had their way with them. 30-7 was the final score. Really nothing much coming from the offensive side from Pittsburgh here. Kenny Pickett had to throw the ball a ton, only completed 31 of his 46 attempts for 232 in terms of yards, and then had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Not all that great, right? So I think that the Cleveland Browns here have something to build on, though I'm saying the Bengals, kind of lost that game and let us slip through their fingertips. Still, Cleveland kind of did exactly what you'd expect them to do. They went out there, obviously dominated the ground game, which I expect them to do again here. Nick Chubb, 18 attempts, 106 rushing yards. And then even Deshaun Watson didn't look all that terrible, threw a pick, but they didn't really need to rely on the quarterback in this spot. So I think this is going to be another rush type of a game where the Steelers have to kind of compete. And I don't know if they really have what it takes yet. Obviously, with Deontay Johnson getting injured, Kenny Pickett being on, Pickens being young as well, you don't really have this team that is in full-fledged offensive mode, and we saw their offense break down in week number 1. So give me the Browns here. In terms of the total, I do have a lean on it. I'm leaning towards the under. It's not going to make it into the final plays. I'm happy enough just rolling with the Cleveland side of things. But yeah, I just wanted to give my kind of take on the total there. 38.5. I don't necessarily see the Steelers putting it all together, like I said. And if they do, then, this game is obviously going to go up and over, because I don't think the Browns are going to have much trouble scoring on the Steelers. We saw McCaffrey, do his thing against the Steelers last week. He had 22 attempts, 152 yards for a touchdown. He broke off a 65-yarder there. And like I said, Nick Chubb obviously had a good game last week. I can see him kind of parlaying that right into a good game this week. So long-winded, but give me the Browns. Not sure if we're in terms of final plays, if we're laying the points yet or taking them on the money line. Right now, I'd say I'm probably like 65% taking them on the money line in terms of which way I'm feeling more confident. Because again, for whatever reason, I could see this being like I guess you could say a 17-16 type of a game, or 16-15, something weird like that, right? Where it's low scoring, guys are making plays, but they're just not putting up a boatload of points, meaning the Browns can't really pull away. So we'll say Browns on the money line for now. And then in terms of player props, I'm looking at a couple things here. We'll jump right into Outlier. First one up is going to be Najee Harris. Both of these player props plus money, which is awesome here. You can see we actually have some value. DraftKings at minus 115, BetMGM for minus 115, Caesars at plus 100 for this Najee Harris prop, which we're looking at the over 62.5 for his rushing plus receiving. Now, I don't totally buy into this Steelers offense just yet, okay? But this seems like a line that he can absolutely smoke. It was a terrible game in week number 1, playing a defense that is better than the Browns. Like, that 49ers defense is no joke. But you can see Najee still has done this in 7 of his last 10, obviously including last game being a loss there. Did in 59% of games last season, got hotter towards the end of the year as well. And in terms of what, I guess you could say what even Cincinnati did against the Browns, right? Joe Mixon right here. Joe Mixon had 56 rushing yards, and this is a Cincinnati team that really brought nothing to the table. 56 rushing yards and 17 receiving yards, so he would have hit the over on this line. I think Najee Harris can be a little bit more dynamic than even Joe Mixon, so pick number 1 there is going to be Najee Harris over 62.5 rushing plus receiving. Then we're moving to the Cleveland Browns side of things. We're looking at Grant Delpit over 5.5 tackles plus assists. Last season, he did this against Pittsburgh. He had 8 tackles plus assists, or 6 tackles plus 6, excuse me. Already so far in this season, he had 8 in game number 1 against Cincinnati, and I do like this spot. Here we go. The third worst team in terms of allowing assists against here in terms of Pittsburgh, and then middle of the pack when it comes to tackles against. Delpit's going to be involved. I do like the spot for him in this week number 1, and that's for plus 120. You can see we're getting the best value over on DraftKings as well. But yeah, that's using Outlier to find a couple player props, guys. If you want to check out Outlier, like I said, 7-day free trial with the link in the pinned comment. It's $20 or $19.99 actually per month after that. Well worth it in my opinion. I don't promote anything that I don't use myself, and I'm using this thing every single day. But yeah, just to recap, we got the Browns most likely on the money line. We have Najee Harris 62.5 receiving plus rushing yards, and then we have Grant Delpit over 5.5 tackles plus assists in this one. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for anything to change. If anything gets scratched or the odds change, keep an eye on that, guys. And yeah, so damn thankful for how supportive you guys have been to start this football season. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Really, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace out.